YouTube, what's going on? It's the Ginger Gamer, and today I'm going to be doing a review of this azpen a700 tablet. So, before we get into the actual tablet, we picked it up at Micro Center for around $40 or $50, but while looking at the website, I discovered that it's about $70 or $80, which is a complete ripoff to say the least. And I'll get into why I think that's a ripoff in a minute. So this is running pretty much stock Android Jelly Bean 4.2, and it has a 1.5 gigahertz dual core processor and half a gig of DDR3 RAM, which to say is not enough, honestly. I'll get into the speeds of this tablet in a minute, but it's not fast at all. It's a 0.3 megapixel front-facing camera, no rear-facing camera though, and they placed it at the bottom right corner of the screen. I'm not sure why they did this approach, because hand covers it a lot when you're going to take pictures, and it's just not a good design feature. But honestly, when you're taking a picture or taking a selfie, you're most likely not going to be taking it with your tablet, so I guess it's not a huge problem for most of those people out there wanting to take pictures. It might be, but just the average person probably won't use it much. So the build quality isn't terrible, I guess. It definitely feels very plasticky, and it has a large bezel, like I'd say probably half-inch bezel going around the whole screen. And down at the bottom it has the volume rocker and the charging port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, the power button, and a micro SD card slot expandable up to 32 gigs, which is actually quite nice considering it only comes with 4. Right now we have an 8 gig in there. So, and they're pretty cheap. You can pick them up for anywhere for like about $10 to $30 depending on how much you want. So that's nice that they added that. And it doesn't feel that nice when you're holding it, and it's kind of slippery on the back. It's not a terrible back, but up in the left corner it says azpen, and there's not much to it other than that. The screen is 800 by 600 resolution, which is not enough. You'd think it'd be okay, because I know a lot of low-end phones and things like that have that same resolution, but this is an LCD screen, and most of those phones that use it are LED or IPS, and just it being that looks so much nicer. And 800 by 600, it really doesn't look very nice. The colors are dull. It's not really that bright of a screen either. But for the price of $40 or $50, you can deal with it. Some things that you can't deal with, or at least I can't, is the speeds. Now, things take quite a couple seconds to open up. For the most part, once it's open, it's not terribly slow, unless you're playing games like games as simple as Hill Climb Racing. If you guys have played that, it lags quite a bit, to be honest. And Chrome, I was single tab just on Amazon.com, and I had a crash on me, which was pretty ridiculous. And I have full Wi-Fi signal. I had no Wi-Fi issues with either my cell phone or my desktop, so I know it wasn't my internet. And it's just, when you're going from the different screens, it seems fine and things, but when you're actually loading up stuff or playing games or something, you can just really feel it. And something that you can do to help that, if you have this tablet and you have issues with the speed like I do, if you press and hold the home button, it will bring up the task manager, and just keep as little things under your task manager as possible, because since it only has half a gig of RAM, you're gonna need to clear it out as much as possible. So I'll put on the Hill Climber for a minute. You guys can see it takes a little while to boot up. While it's loading, I'll turn up the speakers. It's on full loudness right now, so you guys can get an idea of how loud this tablet is. They don't sound great, but they're loud enough. So, but it doesn't feel as smooth as my cell phone or things like that. And this is actually the best it's been. I know other more demanding games are really bad, such as Dead Trigger. I tested that today. Unfortunately, I don't have it on this anymore because it wasn't even worth keeping, because you really couldn't play it with the frames that you were getting. A lot of people who don't play games or stuff, it's probably okay for you with the internet. It's only crashed once, that one time, but it's still fairly slow loading up web pages and things like that. Now, I've said a lot of bad things about this, and I've been trying to think of some good things. Now, one good thing is it came with a screen protector on it, which is pretty convenient. That saves you like $5 to $10, so that was nice of them to include, I guess. Um, it's a decent Android experience. They didn't add too much things or too much stuff like a lot of, like Samsung and other companies like that. When you first get a phone or a tablet by them, it has a lot of Samsung type stuff on it, and it's just really annoying because then you have to go root your phone to get rid of it, and it's like that. This tablet doesn't have much of that, so that's convenient, and the price is really nice. But before you go out and buy one because the price is so low, I'd say honestly, it's worth it to wait another week or two, work a couple more days, or just save up your money for a little bit longer in order to get the extra like $20 to $50 that it takes to get an entry level $100 tablet like the Asus Memo Pad or similar tablets like the Toshiba Excite. I know it's like around $100 or $130. You can get the Dell Venue 7. And those are all way better tablets than this, and they are quite a bit more money, but it's definitely worth it because if it's this slow right now, the apps and games are only progressing, and it's just only gonna get slower and slower. Something that I could see helping with this is if in the future it does get the upgrade to KitKat. KitKat is supposed to be geared towards lower end tablets and phones. So maybe it will get a bit of a performance increase if it does get that update. As of right now, it doesn't have it though, so I can't say whether or not it will have an increase. There's not much else to it. Honestly, I'd say save your money and probably don't get it. I haven't had any real issues, like, as far as, like, actual problems. It's just too slow to do much with, and it doesn't feel like it's going to last a whole long time. It's not the worst build quality, but it's not as nice as something you would get on a little bit higher end tablet. And with that said, we picked it up, like I said, at Micro Center, and I don't think they carry it on Amazon. I double checked. You can't really find any cases or anything like that specifically made for it because Azpen's it's not a very known brand. Something as like the Asus Nexus 7 or something, which you can find tons of stuff for. So you can find universal 7-inch tablet cases or things like that, which we actually have one of those, and those work just fine. So if you guys really want a cheap tablet, something I would see it being perfect for is little kids getting their first tablet, like 7-year-olds or something. You don't turn on the internet, but you give them a couple games on here or something, and it'd be fine for them because they're not gonna expect much more out of something like this. But I'd say a kid with a basic cell phone or tablet experience, like especially a teenager, definitely would need something more than this for their everyday use. Especially a teenager, due to the fact that they're constantly on Twitter or other Instagram or things like that, they would need a better tablet, and this I don't think would cut it. So if you were going to grab it for a little kid or something, or maybe your grandmother or something, it'd be fine, but really I'd suggest just waiting a little bit longer to get some more money and get a nicer tablet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions about it or anything like that, leave it in the description below, and I will be sure to answer any questions you guys might have. So if you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like, and don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.